And hello once again, space engineers. We've got a new day here. We've got a new ship, and we're going to utilize the same script that we were testing before. If you hadn't seen that video, it was an epic fail. It was just, it was horrible. You really wanted to check that out. Click that like button, comment, subscribe, and notifications, all those kind of good things. And so you'll be able to see all the videos. That was just, it was a lot of fun, but it's just horrible. We're going to work with this ship today. We know that this is a good flying ship. I've been using it to detect ore in deep situations. It's a large grid ship. It's got the large ore detector on it, so it detects ore at a lot deeper than you will with the other stuff. The problem is that we've got such a large area to cover. How do we get out there? And then flying at such a low altitude, because you have to be almost on the ground to be able to see anything. And so you're constantly trying not to crash the ship if you're manually covering it or manually flying it. And then, you know, it's just hard to do that and watch to see if you're seeing any ore. So we're going to try this new script, or fairly new script. It's called Hover, and we're going to use that in this. Now, as you can tell, what this ship is, I think you can tell, is it generates through a projector. It generates these little antennas, these ore antennas. So actually I can generate those and then drop them off if we find a great ore location, and then it'll let me know to come back there, and I can come back with another ship and mine that, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of what this ship does. Now, we're not going to drop off probably any antennas today. We might, but I'm going to turn that projection off because it is a little bit disturbing. And as you can see, we have the bots up here, and those then build. When we tell them to go build this thing, then it will build it, and just go, then I don't have to build it, do all that stuff. But, I mean, that's why we call this beyond survival, because it's not just about survival. This is about doing the big boy stuff, I think. I mean, it's like, you know, the commercial grade activities. I don't know what you call it, but it's at a different level, and we enjoy this. And if you're watching these videos, then I believe you must enjoy it too. So I'm actually going to go in here to that projector, and big orange projector, and we'll just toggle the block off right now. We don't need that at all. Okay, so now we can do this. We set up, oh, and it's starting to get dark. Boy, I seem to start these videos just about the time I start work. It goes to turn into dark, which is kind of an interesting thing to test with the hover stuff, but I want to show you more about that than just that. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit and reset the time of day, and I hope anybody else that's online in the server doesn't go, oh, what the heck happened there? I'm not going to check to see if anybody's here. I'm just going to change the time of day, get it to be starting daylight. There we go. So there we go. I don't do that very often, but when I make a video, it's kind of, you know, that's more important than playing for real at the moment. All right, so I've installed the Hover program, and let's take a look at that. That's the Hover group. Well, if you've seen the other video, you see how to set all that up. And I need the programming block that's got that on it. Programming SAM, lift. Big orange telemetry, big orange hover, there it is. Okay, so we can see how we've set that up in here. We've got the dampening, not the damage. That was in the other video, the damage. The dampening multiplier, I've set that up to 20 on this because it is a pretty big ship. This doesn't say how high we can do the number. So it says play with it until you're happy. fast reaction when a ship encounters a hill. Let's make that 2,000. I don't want them to encounter a hill. You know, I don't know what we can, how much we could set that to. So we're just going to leave it at 20. Actually, I played with it at 20, and I did hit the hill a couple of times. So I'm going to set that at 30 just to make sure. I've also set the speed limit here at 40. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit because I want to drop this ship down. I want to just cruise around searching for ore. And at 25, yes, you hit some trees. That's the problem because we're going to drop this down. Where's our level? Where's our hover? Angle tolerance, thrusters, height. Here, I've got it at 70. I played around with it at 70, but I wanted to go at 20. I want to get as close to the ground as we can, but we're probably going to hit some trees, and we're likely to hit some mountains and different things, so I'm going to drop the speed limit to 25. Low and slow. I mean, if you want to find this deep ore, sometimes that's what you got to do. So I'm going to set it up like that. And now we want to set the, well, we don't want to cruise on yet. We have to first, I got to go look at that. I've got another screen here with the commands, so because I don't remember all of them yet. And we want to, the docking, I've set up docking on this, so it'll actually return to dock, which is kind of cool. So the first one is we want to say takeoff. Takeoff, and it's TAKEOFF, which is kind of a different thing. And let's see what happens. Hello? No. Okay, well, let's see if we have to unlock our thing for that to work. That's not all that great. Take off. Take off. Ah, okay. Well, let's try to lock that again, and let's turn on the thrusters. That's kind of important. I had my thrusters turned on. Okay, so now let's see if it'll take off by itself. If you've got thrusters turned on. Nope. Well, okay, one more time. Let's try to unlock this. And then it did take off. Very interesting. So, yeah, I think they got a little work to do on the takeoff thing. And we came to 60 meters, which we had told it to do 20, but anyway, I'm not going to go towards the warehouse. If you want to see how badly that went last time, be sure to watch that other video. Oh, it was so bad. Anyway, I fixed all that damage. And, so hover seems to be on, but I'm going to turn hover on just to make real sure. I don't guess it hurts. And then cruise on. And it takes off. Should take off flying. Oh, I'm just not having the luck today with this that I had the other day. What I'm going to do is do a recompile. It says the setup is complete, but I think I prefer to do a check code than a recompile. I find that those tend to work better. And did the ship just move? Because I'm flying it. But I want the hover program to fly it. And it's hovering at 60 meters. And we've got several programming blocks here. These didn't get renamed properly. We've got 3 cameras. This doesn't tell me there's any problem. Oh, it helps a whole lot. And if you notice that, 1,000 points extra for you, because I didn't type cruise correctly. It only does what you tell it to, and if you don't tell it the right thing, then let's see if we're going to crash. Nope, didn't crash into that hill. That's really good. Went up a little high. Again, I want to run this at about 20 meters. Is where I'm hoping this is going to run for me. And it looks like it's running real nice at about 60, which is okay. I mean, that's still all right. And it's running at 40 kilometers or 40 meters per second, which, you know, that's a good cruising speed and altitude, especially if you're just going somewhere. And I'm totally hands off here. The script is flying this, so we want to let it kind of do its thing for the moment. But it didn't work to recompile and change those speeds and heights. That's kind of working off of where it was before ish. I mean, remember, it had been set at 70 and 40 for the speed, and it's doing that. I mean, but we set it up here. Did we or did we not? Hover height is 20 and speed limit is 25. And that's where I want it to be. And if I do a check code again, so this setup is complete. I run cruise on. Well, let's try cruise off. That'll stop it. And if I do a hover off, then it's going to drop. Nope. Well, I'm going to have a talk with the author a little bit, because it's a little bit not working like I'd like to see it. But let's see, it's running, so let's see here if we change the speed to 20. Of course, we're not moving, so let's change the cruise and spell it right. Okay, so we're taking off, and now it looks like we're going to run at 20. So it looks like the change, if we change stuff, that works very well. If we change it in as a command, but not really doing well changing it in the script. So that seems to be where that problem is. But as long as the commands work, I mean, that's pretty good. All right, now let's do the real danger move. And we want to change the height because we're out in a bunch of trees. But we really want to run about 20 meters up and 20. Hello, tree. What are we going to happen here? Sometimes you fly through the trees, sometimes it knocks down the trees. You know, it depends on how fast, and sometimes you get in a lot of damage. And I think we just twisted around a little bit. We didn't get any damage. Double check, the bots are happy, so yeah. And that's one reason I like having the bots on the ship. Well, if nothing else, it clears the forest. It's we may not ever find any ore, but we'll certainly clear the forest out here. And it twists around, which is kind of nice in a way. I like to know which direction I've gone so I can always go back, you know, in a different direction. Is what I'd prefer to have. I'd like this to just fly through the trees and then stay on course. You know, if it gets off course, get back on course. Like we're headed there kind of east southeast-ish kind of, and now we're not. Now we're, you know, headed another direction totally. But when we're looking for ore, I mean, that's one of the things you never know. And I'm not seeing any at all, and that is kind of strange. So I'm going to double check my ore detector. It's turned up almost all the way. It should be turned up to the maximum. But it was turned up, so must not be any ore in this area. But see, this is flying real well. It's going out, doing its thing. You have to have a lot of thrusters on this ship, but that's part of any kind of an autopilot kind of a ship. You've got to have plenty of thrusters to stop it, especially, but you've got to have enough going forward and backwards and left and right. And as you can see, I added these gray ones on. This was yesterday. I've been flying around for, I don't know, weeks, I guess, in this ship, testing, looking for ore. And, you know, I was having to fly it myself. Plus, oh, you know what? It would help a lot if we turn. I had the HUD turned off. That's why we couldn't find any ore. Well, now look at that. There's ore. Silicon and nickel. It's like, why aren't we seeing anything? That's just really weird. Okay, that's a big mess up. Hey, this is part of the game, right? If it's all perfect, it's not near as much fun. I mean, it really isn't. I like to see, you know, my mistakes. I'm making new stuff and trying new things all the time. But hey, we all make mistakes, and that's fine. So now we can see some ore, and it looks like we're going to twist around again and knock down another tree or two. And yeah, well, those are always fun. It's much more fun when you hit them real low and they go flying off into space. And I mean, I love trees, don't get me wrong, but these aren't real trees. This is just data on the screen. So, you know, if it all gets messed up, we don't really care too much. Anyway, I'm flying hands off here. The script is doing everything, and we're looking for gold. Now, gold on this planet is not very likely. In fact, it's very unlikely with the mods we have. So we're trying to find anything we can with that, and I'm hoping at 20 meters. And we're running at 27 meters here. I did set 20. I may set it a little lower. It seems to fly pretty good here, especially on these flatlands. Maybe let's try that. Let's just see if we can set it down to 10 meters, what that might do to us. And let's see how good this script flies for us. Certainly dropped down. You can see we're stirring up the dust. Well, we picked up some ice there. Get rid of some of that noise on the screen if we can. Oops. Yeah. Whoa, boy, that really banged that. But again, no damage to the ship, which is important. If you try to go too fast, you're going to destroy your ship. And that's why we keep the bots on there just in case. But this is flying great. It's getting on around there. I've got a lot of antennas turned on over there. It's kind of hard to see, but that's why it's nice to have the ore in a different color. Of course, it would be great if we could actually see that in the program and write the script that would say, oh, I've just detected silicon and ice here, and be able to do something with that. But that's not allowed in the API from Keen. So if you say, well, why don't you do it that way? Talk to Keen. Send them a message. Send them an email. Go, hey, we want the API to be able to read the ore detector. Because the only way we can do this right now is we have to sit in the ship and fly around and watch. And I'm finding this script here, this hover script, is great for at least controlling the ship. I don't have to mess with that, and fly and try to, I mean, who could fly through all these trees like this? What a mess. And but you're trying to fly and stay low to the ground and watch for everything. It's too hard. So this script is really great. It's working excellent for what we need it to do right here. And with a good ship that flies a long time, this thing will fly for, I don't know, a couple of hours anyway, longer than I want to sit here and watch it. And especially when I've been flying it manually, it's just been way too much work. And so I need to see if I can. It would be nice to get out of these trees because I'm not seeing any kind of ore right now. But we're just kind of bouncing around in the field here, clearing the field. It'd be good for plowing and planting some crops later, I guess. Put out some beans and something. There it goes, one going flying. That's kind of fun. Yeah, there's way too many trees here and not a lot of ore. Now we also have the problem, as you might see, those little space pirate settlements are out here, and we have to be careful to not fly into one of those. So yeah, it's kind of hard to know where we've really gone, except there's no trees anywhere. Where you gone? But it's hard to map out. I don't know where we've been and where we haven't been. That's the only problem with flying so low that we're doing here, because we just don't know if we've covered that area in full. And well, there's two of them went flying. So it's not the script's fault. The script's doing a great job. It's controlling the ship and it's doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm happy with that, and I would recommend this script. But I'm not sure what we can do about mapping this out, because usually I set it to go, like, we're almost on northeast. Let's just say I set it to go northeast, and that's where I fly. And I've been flying at about 60 meters up. And what did we hit there? There wasn't even a tree out there. What happened to that? That was really weird. But I usually try to say, let me head south or north or east or whatever it is, and a compass thing from the base. And then I start flying, but I usually fly at about, like I say, 60 meters up. That gets rid of the trees. In fact, I'm gonna move that because I don't think we're getting anywhere. I don't think we're gonna be able to really know anything. Let's try 40 meters up, since this thing runs a little bit high. And just get above the tree line. Because if you don't, you keep banging into trees. You don't know if you've covered that area. You see what I mean? And actually here we're kind of headed back towards base, so we already know this area. So let's try the one other command. We know we're not heading, we're kind of heading back towards base, but the other command is called dock. So let's try that. You get the idea. If you're searching for ore, or if you just want this thing to fly around and you want to cruise and kind of check out the scenery, maybe you're looking for a new lake or something, and you don't want to have to manually fly it. This program seems to do a great job. So we're just going to run dock. Okay, it turned. So let me just get rid of all this HUD. We don't care about any of that anymore. And it looks like it's flying back to the dock just fine, to where we started. And let's do that. And please remember to subscribe if you like this channel or like this video. Click that like button, and also push that notification bell, because the folks there at YouTube will send you a notification when we put new videos up, so you don't miss any of these wonderful videos of me crashing and tearing up trees. Yeah, well, all that good stuff. Hey, we call this Beyond Survival because, as you can see, we've got city kind of things. We've got a big spaceport there with a big control tower, and we've got fuel stations, and we've got hydrogen tanks out there, and all kinds of big solar arrays and different things like that. We play this at a different level. And if you like that kind of stuff, want to learn more about that, drop me a comment. I'm happy to chat with you about it, and maybe even invite you over to our server, depending on what we're playing and when we are. Then we're always happy for people to come on in the server and join us. We don't play shoot 'em up. We're not here to go tear up other people's stuff. We tear up enough of it ourselves. In fact, I see a big hole over there by the spaceport that needs to be fixed. And now that's the dock command. It went over there. Looks like it's right where it's supposed to be. That's good stuff, but it did not dock. And I bet you it's because the camera is seeing a little bit of that unevenness that we have. And yeah, and it's not directly over the connector either. The connectors are not lined up, as you can see. They're kind of missing. So let me try to land this thing and recharge. Is it doing that? No, I'm doing that. We still got 80% battery. I mean, we could fly around for hours. That's why that hydrogen one that we tried, it flew about 5 minutes and it was done. I want to get this thing to where it will dock correctly though, but I think it's probably because the terrain is uneven over here. It's a poor location. It's difficult to dock even by myself. So I'll change that and try that. But I really do recommend this script. You should give it a try and see. Maybe it'll work for you. And if you learn something new on it that you haven't seen in this video, drop me a comment, because I'm always looking to learn stuff myself. So I'll see you next video. Again, like, subscribe, comment, what's that other one? Notifications. Do all those things. And we'll see you on the next video of Beyond Survival and Space Engineers. Thanks for watching. See you soon.